I like that idea, but I think that it only like specifically works for you because you're such an asshole that like that it would work and it would be funny. But like for anybody else to do that, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Brunch, hit it, boys.
We're recording, and you don't want to cross Shia LaBeouf and David Ayer's The Tax Collector trailer.
Oh, what?
You don't want to do that, dude.
Why? Explain to me. Explain to me what's going on here.
I don't really know, but this is the headline I'm reading. It just says you don't want to cross Shia LaBeouf and David Ayer's The Tax Collector trailer. I feel like we have two options. We can either take a second, watch this trailer, or take the headline's word for it.
Who is the headline by?
Headline is by Josh Kerp, who is the senior pop culture editor at Uprocks. And he says, or whichever, I don't know, editors write the headlines. It says that he's the editor. You don't want to cross Shia LaBeouf in David Ayer's The Tax Collector trailer. So.
I know Josh Kerp. We used to work with Josh Kerp.
Would he just flippantly avoid Shia LaBeouf in a situation, or would he need to do something in this trailer for David Ayer's is The Tax Collector to make him think, all right, you know what? If I'm seeing Shia, maybe I'm faking it's a COVID thing, but I'm running across the street.
Generally, I think that Kerp is pretty trustworthy, so I might take his word for that. But I mean, I'm always trying to cross Shia LaBeouf because Shia LaBeouf is one of my favorite actors in the entire world. Everybody knows this.
Oh, yeah. It's Shia LaBeouf is it would be terrible to get hit in the face, but if Shia LaBeouf hit you in the face, that's like, you're like set for life. Yeah.
I mean, Shia LaBeouf could murder me and bury me in the woods, and I'd be like, he's my favorite actor in Hollywood.
Where do you think that culture came from of, I mean, I've seen you comment on like a Lily James Instagram post, like run me over with your car.
Yeah.
Probably I don't know why, like of all the Instagram moments, that's like my favorite one. Just like scrolling through, seeing Lily James post a thing, and the only comment it shows, because I follow both of you, is P. Blackburn, run me over with your car. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think it was like a risque photo or anything. It's just like...
No, just like a picture of her face, probably.
Just a reminder, I'm Lily James. You're like, kill me.
I also think that's like very funny because like we both fucking love Lily James, but I don't think that Lily James is considered like an elite superstar, like run me over with your car level of celebrity.
Right. It's I think that is reserved for. I realized the other day I still follow Kelly Rohrbach
from Baywatch.
From Baywatch, is that her name?
Yeah.
I was like a 4-year-old after that. I was like, whoa, holy smokes! Remember we talked about that.
The party
afterwards.
dress.
We were like, we're not like, that party dress. We're like, we're not watch movies and afterwards be like, whoa,
ooga booga.
Check out the babe in this movie. We were like, wow, it's a sensational actress. But I was gonna say, I feel like probably full-time models are more likely to get the run me over with your car stuff. But I don't know. Now everybody kind of gets the I stan comments.
Yeah,
right?
True.
So
how did we get here again?
We're trying to figure out.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah.
Whether or not you want to cross Shia LaBeouf and David Ayer's.
I think we got to check it out now, right?
I mean, we could, or
The Tax Collector.
I don't know. I don't think that Josh is just trying to stir shit up.
Damn, Shia LaBeouf looks different.
I'll send you the trailer.
I got it.
Okay, we're gonna. I guess.
This was put up 32 minutes ago, so this is breaking news on Brunch.
So he already knows. He knew right from the bat. Making the call. We're not crossing Shia.
Okay, I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. If we play it, are we going to hear it? No, we won't, right?
No.
Cool, let's check it out. Let's hit play at the same time.
All right.
3.
What?
Hold on, it's loading. Shiza. All right, 3, 2, 1. smoking a cigarette.
Hell yeah. Trailer for a trailer.
Got some JGL 500 Days of Summer vibes. Kills people, it seems. George Lopez, I watched his special yesterday.
All right.
Okay, shall we watch again?
No. What are your thoughts on the tax collector? That seems interesting.
I'll give it to Josh. I won't. I'm not crossing him and David Akers. What's his name? David Ayers, the tax
David
collector.
Ayers, the E-Bug.
E-Bug?
The emergency backup goalie?
Was that his name?
Yeah, it was David Ayers.
Hilarious. I know I wouldn't cross him after that. It looks like a very, very violent movie where Shia LaBeouf goes around shooting people, even killing them.
Yeah, extremely, extremely violent, it looks like.
I will take issue with the trailer, though. It said George Lopez, whomever else, and then it said, and Shia LaBeouf.
That's clearly not an and situation.
If Shia LaBeouf plays the tax collector and it's called the tax collector, there's no and. Right?
Right. And like they have if Shia LaBeouf is like the first person shown in the trailer and they have like that mini like 2-second clip for the trailer.
Right.
And it's Shia LaBeouf smoking a cigarette. It's not an and situation. That's your guy.
I agree. Have you seen the thing recently? People starting to catch wise to Netflix that whenever they show movies or little trailer clips or whatever, when you're scrolling through all the movies, it's always a picture of like the second lead. Have you noticed that?
No.
It's very strange. Like Social Network, for example, Justin Timberlake.
Really?
It says the Social Network with the logo and everything. And they're in Justin Timberlake. It's like that with so many movies.
Yeah, I have noticed that like it happens a lot, but I feel like it's also because Netflix changes the images on their shows and in movies so much.
Yeah, they're
like
hella bored.
it changes every other day.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of action going on at our exclusive partner, Bet Online. Sports are slowly making their way back with UFC, NASCAR, soccer. We got MLS coming up. We maybe have NBA coming up, maybe a little NHL, maybe some baseball too. So Bet Online has all the best odds and lines for the upcoming games and matches. And if you need more, Bet Online also has simulated NFL, NBA, and UFC happening every day live for you to check out. And if you're not necessarily a sports person, they've got you covered too, because they've got hundreds of live casino games, poker tournaments, and all the best props in the business. Visit betonline.ag or use your mobile device and join now to receive your new welcome bonus and start playing today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts at betonline.ag.
On the subject of George Lopez and Netflix, I did watch his special last night. For the first time in a while, I couldn't sleep, didn't sleep, was up till 5:30, which had nothing to do, drove myself crazy, did a little work, ate, smoked a beer, was really losing my mind. So I was like, what's on Netflix? There's a new George Lopez special. Okay, why the heck not? And, wasn't the best.
Maybe it'll be the next What's Cooking.
I mean, it would be more tolerable than the last thing we cooked on. I mean, if we want to do Stonk Watch, the comedy of Dane Cook stonks down.
Oh yeah, I would say that the stonks on What's Cooking up because we still had a great time doing a horrible special Retaliation, which is incredible because we talked about this during Friday's What's Cooking, but like Retaliation was the Dane Cook album that I was talking about, like the first comedy album that I've ever owned. I expected it to be like to bring back a wave of nostalgia. Man, that thing sucked ass.
It truly sucked. And I think that for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe the kindness of our own hearts, I think we went into this kind of rooting for it to be not that bad. So maybe, or Dane Cook's comedy to not be that bad. So the next time we hear someone make Dane Cook into a punchline, just be like, yo, you're a sheep. You know that? If you checked it out, if you revisit it yourself, you find it's not that bad. And I think that we were maybe able to do that after Harmful of Swallowed, but boy, oh boy, after Retaliation, rough. But it is a testament to the What's Cooking brand that you put out a poll from the brunch account, ended up looking like a Deej poll because it was so close. I take great pride in my polls. I get very close poll results. It was, what should we do next on What's Cooking? Should we keep cooking or should we switch it up? And with the resounding 51%, the Bruntouchables voted. The Cook continues. Keep going
Hell
with
yeah.
Dane Cook. Continue to listen to Dane Cook. And the next album, I'm kind of wary of this next one because A, we just listened to a terrible one, but we're going to listen to what came after Retaliation, where Retaliation came out and the world's reaction was, we like you so much that you're going to sell out arenas now. So
Yeah, that's insane.
So he was at the peak of his non-comedy being enabled.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that is truly spectacular. Worth pointing out that my mom tuned in for her first What's Cooking, and she texted me and was like, who the fuck ever thought this guy was funny?
That's what your mom said.
Yeah, it is what my mom said.
I was waiting as soon. I was like, oh, I hope he says that she said something. Did you guys say that back in the day? That's what your mom said.
No, I was more just a general, that's what she said, all inclusive.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, so that's what she said was like, I don't even know what era that's from. It's so old and so dated that I remember even as children, if someone was like, that's what she said, we'd be like, what are you, 90? And then it became so old.
It was
and
reinvented by The Office, apparently.
Right. Well, they were like, how do we make this guy the lamest person possible? Oh, in the early 2000s, he says, that's what she said. That's actually pretty hilarious. Or I would say mid 2000s. But yeah, I used to do that sometimes. People used to always say, that's what your mom said. And I don't know, aside from like The Far Side, I think your mama jokes were kind of whack. But if anybody would say literally that their mother said something, every now and then just follow up with.
Wasn't there a TV show like that was like strictly Yo Mama jokes? Like
that
a roast
sounds
show?
Right. It sounds like it would be on like MTV.
MTV, yeah. I think it's an MTV show. And they had some good ones, man. I remember I used to watch that show, and it used to be like a real roast.
It's where you used to get all your mama material.
Yeah, it's like still where I get all my material. It's just a complete collection of Yo Mama jokes.
You ever take MTV for a spin these days?
No, but I did see. Did you see the screenshot of their schedule? I don't know if that was a joke or not, but like MTV put out a screenshot of their schedule this week, and it got roasted on Twitter because like literally 95% of their programming is ridiculousness.
Oh, so I was going to say I watched a friend texted me and was like, Nirvana Unplugged on MTV, and I was like, haven't seen that in forever. Turned it on. It was the very end, but then Pearl Jam Unplugged was on, so I watched that, and it was excellent. And then I went to bed, turned the TV off, woke up the next morning, turned the TV on, and there was a ridiculousness marathon going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I've ever actually watched this show. This was called like spookiness or something. It was like a scary version.
Halloween special.
Yeah. And the
Spooky
guest,
ain't sexy, baby.
What's that?
Spooky ain't sexy.
That's right. And the guest was Gaten Matanzaro.
something like that.
That is his
I know.
name?
Yeah, I don't know. Sure.
That young man. I don't know, man. I feel like I felt bad for him on that show because did this kind of happen? Who did this happen with? Tiffany Haddish, where they were like, "You're in something we love." Oh, and like you were so funny in it. All right, now come
Be
by.
that guy.
Be funny.
Yeah.
Whatever the guy, I forget the guy's name.
Rob Dyrdek.
Rob Dyrdek. He was like trying to set him up for wacky stories and everything, and the kid was like, "Yeah, man, I know. I'm just like hanging out. If you could like."
Nobody's really put in a position to thrive on that show. It's like, here, watch a funny video. Now be funny.
Right. And speaking of other random stuff I've been watching, for some reason, I was on Comedy Central, and there was a very long South Park marathon. And I haven't seen that show in years, but Cartman eventually becomes like a major white knight, and he holds an assembly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like talking down to everybody, like talking down to all the girls there. He's like, "Girls, women are funny, okay? They can be funny." And it's like, obviously, but he's like calling them up one by one. He's like, "Show everybody, say something funny." And they were like, "No." And he was like, "Women are funny, get over it." And I was like, I don't know what year this came out, but it was probably accurate of stupid
awesome.
dudes.
By the way, Yo Mama, a 2006 reality show that was hosted or created by Wilmer Valderrama
Oh,
on MTV. Nominations: the Teen Choice Award for Choice Breakout TV Show, Teen Choice Award for Choice TV Reality Show.
breakout.
I
hit?
feel like this could be a great What's Cooking.
I'd be down for that.
Hell yeah. And just hear what kind of disses we got going on in Yo Mama in 2006. I bet there's a lot of
I was gonna say we'll be saying
potential.
a whole lot.
Yeah.
That's Wilbur Valderrama. For whatever reason, I associate him. What show do you associate him with the most?
That 70s show.
I legitimately, the first thing I think when someone says Wilbur Valderrama, and I watched that 70s show, is New Girl.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember him in New Girl.
I don't think he was ever in it, but
What?
Cece's model friend, who I believe is Russian, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if she says she's slept with him or if she's friends with him or something, but she says his name and botches the pronunciation, which
Okay.
I suppose if that were aired today, I think people would say maybe that's a little bit offensive. But speaking of offensive,
Wilmer Valderrama is only 40 years old.
wow. So not that it's the same at all, but did you see that that the guy, I forget his name, the guy who voices Cleveland stepped down from voicing that character? He's going to keep doing, I don't know if he'll still do like Consuelo and stuff, because he does like different people with various accents. But he's a white guy, and there's kind of been reaction from all over the place there, but I think it's pretty commendable. And I think that, I don't know, I'm sure that there's maybe scenes that he'd probably want back. I don't remember it as being like as offensive as something like a poo, but I think it's pretty solid progress that somebody who, even if they weren't trying to be offensive, or like, I don't think that Cleveland was like necessarily making fun, like that he was like a punching bag on the show or whatever, or that it was making fun of black people. But I like that even if someone wasn't malicious about it, they were like, you know what, it seems inappropriate for me to.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing this anymore.
Right.
I just Googled it, and Wendell Pierce is launching a campaign to be the new voice of Cleveland. That would rule.
Yeah.
I love Wendell Pierce.
I don't know. I saw there were a lot of quote tweets of like people being like, this is not what we're asking for, folks. Like, we're asking for like police reform, like,
right.
like not like yelling at the guy who plays Cleveland. But I'm like, both things are good. Obviously, police reform way more important.
Right. Yeah. But like, I do think that like there's what people are asking for is like sweeping change in just the way that we sort of view that like race relations and like people's approach to race. And so I think like if it's causing people to think differently and to be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be comfortable doing this, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
For sure. I mean, it's like we talked about in our
nobody's like, hey, racism's solved.
Right. But I don't know. Everybody kind of, I don't know. It's a time to reflect. It's time to consider, like, I don't know, like, is everything I've been doing and thinking completely correct? And I think that if you're saying yes unequivocally, and then you're like, and I'll prove it to you, look, celebrity, whatever, like did something on a show or whatever, I feel that like people can maybe take their eye off the ball, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Keep looking at yourself, keep reflecting, just keep trying to be better, think better, vote better, etc., etc.
In order to look at yourself, though, you're going to need to have good vision. And to have good vision, Warby Parker is a company that you should look at if you can see them. And if you can't see them, you should shop at Warby Parker because they've got great eyewear. They're some of my favorite glasses. They've got contacts now. They're committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. They offer eyeglasses, sunglasses, eye exams, and contact lenses. Those glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. The sunglasses, progressive, and blue light lenses are also available. I use Warby Parker. I have a couple of pairs of glasses for them. I've tried their contacts. Their contacts are actually very comfortable. And I have I'm a picky contact person. I feel like a lot of them dry up in my eyes, very uncomfortable. So I tried their contacts. They're pretty great. But if you want to give Warby Parker a shot, you can order one of those home try-on kits. It lets you pick out 5 pairs of glasses. They ship them to you in a prepaid return label. They make it super easy. You get to try them on, see which ones work for your face, see which ones you like. And then if you don't like them, send them back. No skin off your back. And if you want them, you order them. It's great. So to try Warby Parker's free home try-on program, order 5 pairs of glasses, try them on for 5 days, no obligation to buy, ships free, includes the prepaid return label. Go to warbyparker.com/brunch. That's warbyparker.com/brunch.
So on the subject of voices, I don't think that necessarily you have to cancel anybody doing any accents, but I did think when I saw the trailer for the movie with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. I never get it. Rachel McAdams. Have you seen the trailer for this?
Surely have not.
Really? It's all over Netflix.
Well, I haven't been on Netflix recently.
Oh, that's right. You've been gaming. Oh, they're shoving it down your throat. It's out now. I tried to watch this yesterday. It's about 2, I think it's Swedish brother and sister who want to win a Swedish songwriting contest. And it looks so rough. It looks brutal.
Well, I feel like that's most Will Ferrell projects recently. Did anybody end up seeing that ski movie with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like nobody saw that movie.
I think that came out maybe right as crud was hitting the fan, or did that come out in like late winter?
I do not know, but it had to suck.
Yeah. That might not be a bad one to watch for the old podcast. Because I'll tell you, I tried watching this one where they play Swedish people who want to be songwriters, and I made it about...
If that doesn't appeal to you, what will?
Right. Who more... That's what I want. I want to be a Swedish songwriter. But it opens... I was like, this is going to be terrible. It's Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams, and their father is Pierce Brosnan, and he's very disappointed in Will Ferrell. Thinks that Will Ferrell is wasting his life. And it opens with they're watching the songwriting contest on TV. And this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. But they're watching the songwriting contest on TV. And ABBA is on it playing a little song of theirs called Waterloo. And Pierce Brosnan's like, this is like terrible. And they're doing...
Is that a joke accents. And a joke?
What's that?
Is that like a joke and a joke because Pierce Brosnan is in Mamma Mia?
I did notice that. I was like, wow, Pierce, you have a type. But they're singing and playing Waterloo, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to be into this. And Will Ferrell starts dancing along to it, and Pierce Brosnan's like, "Don't you dare grow up to be a Swedish songwriter or something." I'm like, wow, what a specifically
I know.
what a specifically strict dad Pierce Brosnan plays. And they cut to present day, and wouldn't you know it, he and Rachel McAdams are singing about a volcano, and I turned it off. I was like, wow, this movie opened with ABBA and found a way to lose me within like 2.5 minutes. Horrible.
I feel like Netflix has to have like a quality management team.
Right. Can we like do like inventory of like Netflix?
Yeah. What do they call what do they call that when you work in like retail and it's like quality control?
Yeah.
Netflix needs a quality control department. They're just letting everything slip by on the old conveyor belt. Yeah.
Just be like, all right, no one's gonna get in trouble. No one's gonna get in trouble. Just have a few questions. So this show, Love, is a good show. People liked it. Good example of some good content to have. And 3 seasons is fine, but I don't know, maybe you could have done it a 4th or a 5th. This movie, where Will Ferrell plays the son of a specifically strict Swedish father, and none of them are Swedish, that might be an example of something to not let through. So just show of hands, everybody close your eyes. If you made this decision, put your hand up. That'd be a good reality show for Netflix.
That would be a great reality show for Netflix, especially when you consider how much money probably went into those 2 separate projects.
Yes. Yeah, like Ferrell Brosnan.
Think about how much money that Netflix probably paid for that stupid fucking Adam Sandler Jennifer Aniston movie.
That's what when you want to think of like a money pit. I actually looked that up when I was watching it. I was watching it with a friend, and we spent most of the time just being like, how did this happen? And it was
what do you think the budget was for that? Because that was a luxurious movie.
That movie existed for like a while. It was like shopped around different places. Dare I say there might have been like a bidding war? And then they made it. And then eventually they were like, all right, whatever. We got to do something with this stupid movie. And they made it part of, if memory serves, they made it part of Adam Sandler's deal with Netflix, which also included like stand-up specials and things like that. But Oh my gosh. You saw that movie, right?
Yeah, it was so bad. Well, it was really bad, but in like I expect this from Adam Sandler kind of way.
Right. And that's why I still can't bring myself to watch The Wrong Missy.
Oh, I know. Everybody keeps saying that that's really bad and like horribly bad. And to look at that movie, and it's what, David Spade is in the starring role?
It's David Spade and Lapkus.
Yeah, Lindsay Lapkus and
Lauren.
I thought one of those things.
I mean, I would
like
say
to look at that and be like, wow, this movie is worse than I expected. It has to be so bad.
Yeah, I certainly don't think David Spade is on any sort of heater. But man, we've talked about this. We need bounce back Lapkus. Like we need air to breathe, right? She's on a pretty bad losing streak.
She was in Crashing.
So Crashing, great. And then
fantastic.
Her episode of Characters was rough. And then she was in the Sherlock Holmes movie.
Oh no.
Which was brutal.
And I told you that I listened to her podcast and I was not a fan.
Right.
I didn't give it much of a shot, but oof.
Yeah.
Just too giddy.
All right. Well, that's, I guess.
What?
I do this myself too. I'm like, yo, stop being so happy. And I'm like, this sounds like more of a me problem than a them. This doesn't sound like an actual criticism of a person. You just stop smiling. I immediately I'm stand there with the whiskey and orange juice in the robe. Get a room.
Right. And we're like big, like don't yuck somebody's yum sort of people.
Don't hate.
Unless like that's your life. If your life is a yum, go fuck yourself. Right, not into that.
Yeah. Just mix in a yuck, will you?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the murder. Oh, god damn. Murder Mystery had a $175 million budget.
It was insane.
But guess what?
What's
it
that?
grossed $332 million.
Is that because Netflix paid so much for it?
Probably.
Probably. That's some. I never saw the producers.
$175 million for that movie.
I never saw the producers, but isn't the gist of it they can make more money from a flop than they can from a good play? So they intentionally do the worst play possible?
I've never seen it, but I mean, that sounds correct.
Yo,
From everything that I know about the movie industry, that sounds right.
I want to be a play guy so freaking badly. Have we talked about this?
Yes, I think so.
I don't know. Is there like a...
Have you seen Hamilton, by the way?
No, but I'm going to watch the movie.
I'm going to watch the movie, too. Which,
I got to say, Brendan Urie, I am not, because I do not have high hopes for it. It didn't go to theaters?
Well, there are no theaters.
Yeah, but was it supposed to go to theaters?
I think so, yeah. They pushed
I thought
up
it
the
wasn't.
release.
Oh,
no, I believe that I believe that they pushed up the release.
Oh, okay. I saw a tweet saying like, "Hey, before we get our hopes up, consider these aspects of it." And it was basically like, if they had high hopes, they probably would have rolled it out a lot differently than they have. But I can't remember if that was like from a movie account or like an angry Twitter person.
I don't know, but I'm kind of rooting for me not to like it. So if that works, then. If that works in my favor, then I'm all for it. But like, I don't want to be the guy who like falls in love with Hamilton in 2020.
Right.
Based off of Hamilton, the movie. Yeah.
So I like that though. We've talked about doing that with stuff, right? Like there's like a famous book or something, just really marry yourself to the movie and be like, oh, I'm such a fan of this. And then when they're like, oh, isn't this great? Oh, we talked about this with, what was the Mandalorian? I'm going to be like a huge Mandalorian head. And then when someone's like, oh, isn't that crazy what it says about so-and-so's character? I'd be like, didn't pick up on that. I've never seen
Star Wars.
Never seen Star Wars before. I love the Mandalorian, though. How funny was that scene where he keeps touching the stuff?
I like that idea. I do like that. I like that idea, but I think that it only like specifically works for you because you're such an asshole that like that it would work and it would be funny. But like for anybody else to do that, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh man, have you seen The Mandalorian?
I sure have.
I was gonna say, what's something funny to jump in on super? I think that it would be pretty funny to be like obsessed with Hamilton and then be like, oh, I just like the movie, but I'm not a fan of the music, so I just skip past that. And it's like
all the music parts.
Yeah, I'm not a music. You're out on music, dude.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
All right, so we got it. This is what you have to do. I don't know how we can do this, but whether with screen grabs or whatever, I'll take the Hamilton movie, cut out all the songs, and then give you the movie to watch because you're not a music guy. And then you can be like, yo, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Did not like Hamilton. They're like, oh, I'd like to see you do better. And just be like, what are you, I didn't hear the songs. What are you?
But yeah, but wasn't that song amazing? And I'd be like, oh, no, I mean, I skipped through all that bullshit.
Be like, if I wanted music, I'd listen to music.
Right.
I remember at my orthodontist, there was a thing of Jerry Seinfeld. There was a poster of Jerry Seinfeld because he was like, he's very big into dental hygiene and math homework. But there was a
girlfriend parents.
It said, girlfriend parents. But it said, like, there were like quotes from Jerry Seinfeld. I'm sure we can find this post somewhere, but it was like, I'm not a fan of flavored floss. You want flavor? Eat. And I remember thinking, I was like, man, that guy just tells it like it is. He is such
genius.
a fucking badass. This dude walking around in like very like tight but not skinny, light washed jeans, like high waisted, tucked in shirt, just telling it like it fucking is. You want flavor? Eat. Yeah. So you'd be like, you want music? Listen to music. I'm trying to watch a movie here.
It would be quite the 180 from us, like just being all over Mamma Mia's shit for like 3 straight years.
So have you
then
noticed?
Be like, out on Hamilton. Don't need music in my movies.
So I've noticed this a couple times now. Maybe it's happened every remote podcast we've done, but when you've laughed, it's been dead silent. Like the audio is not picking up your laughter, so it's going to sound like I'm chuckling a bit as we're talking, and it's not being reciprocated. Let the record show you're laughing. You're doing it right now.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I think that my laughs. I mean, I think that it would be a hilarious experiment to go back and like erase all my laughter from like the episodes, because I laugh at everything. Don't want to blow some smoke, but I think you're a funny guy, and I laugh at a lot of the dumb things that you say. So if we had to go back and like erase all my laughter, this podcast would be super weird.
I thought you were going to be like, oh, comedically, I'm a cheap date. You're not even being that funny. I'm just here to sit and laugh.
Yeah, it's like, entertain me, clown. But I don't know how toxic the Hamilton fandom is. I think that would make a big difference in like how this bit would be received, because Star Wars fandom is super toxic and super fucking annoying. So if you were to go all in on the Mandalorian and like just commit to not caring at all about Star Wars outside of the Mandalorian, I think that'd be fucking hilarious, because all of the Star Wars fans would lose their shit.
And it would be so easy. I just watched The Mandalorian like 10 times, so I know more about The Mandalorian than anybody else. So they're like, you don't even know, why do you watch it? It's not going to make sense to you. I'm like, oh yeah? Well, what happens 3 minutes into the 4th episode of The Mandalorian? I know. Do you know? Oh, sounds like...
Who's the bigger fan?
Right. Sorry. I guess I just like it more than you do. That's a stupid good idea. This is we're just coming up with stupid. That's what this episode is. We're just coming up with stupid ideas.
I mean, that's what this podcast is.
I guess, yeah, but it's usually not executing those ideas. Except for
recently.
Except for What's Cooking and the Friday Night Lights thing. We've had 2 ideas that we've decided to execute.
But you know what it is? We have quality control.
That's
like
right.
We see all these ideas come across the conveyor belt, and we pick the best ones.
That's right.
Can't say the same for Netflix.
I got a stonk watch. It's Stonk Up, Flirty Music.
What have you been listening to?
Been listening to this new Haim album, man. And
it's great.
A couple of the songs, kind of flirty. And what does it take to be flirty music, you ask? I don't know. Just like some light guitar. I don't know. I think of... I guess gun to my head, someone's going to correct me and say there's a better example. But right now, as I think of it, I'd say like, I don't know, like Tom Hanks.
Tom Petty's
got some like flirty kind of music, just like a real like kind of summery, carefree thing.
John Mayer has a lot of flirty music.
He likes to flirt a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, like Los Angeles, the first track from the Haim album, quite flirty. I flirt back with a little bit. My favorite song on the album, though, and it seems like an afterthought for everybody. I love I've Been Down.
I think that is an afterthought for a lot of people.
Yeah, but that one's kind of flirty.
I would say most of the meat on the album, or at least like most of the buzz on the album, comes from that 6-song stretch.
Which would be The Steps Through
I Know Alone,
Don't
Up
Wanna.
From a Dream, Gasoline, 3 a.m., Don't Wanna.
Yeah.
Even I would throw maybe another try in on that, too.
Yeah. Don't Wanna is so good.
Don't Wanna is really great.
As I was listening to the album, I'm a big believer in when you're listening to an album for the first time to not skip past the songs you already know, because it's fun to kind of hear those songs in context. It's like why I liked You Need to Calm Down a lot more when I listened to it in the context of the Taylor Swift album.
I was gonna say Taylor, like that is proven to be super important for Taylor,
yes,
is listening to her singles in context to the album.
Yeah.
Especially on Reputation. Reputation was like the first big test for that.
Yeah. Reputation was just tests on tests on tests. But
yep.
I love this Haim album. We were talking about it on What's Cooking, but I don't think it's as good as Days Are Gone, because I think Days Are Gone is pretty much a perfect album. But I think that this is, I don't know, I'm putting this in like the definitely 9+ out of 10.
Ooh. Ooh, baby.
And I also think that Phoebe Bridgers' album is in there. So
see my tweet yesterday?
what was it?
The picture of the two houses.
Oh yeah.
Thought that was pretty good. Gasoline is definitely a flirty song off this new Haim album.
Gasoline has grown on me like crazy, but I remember the first time I was listening to it, I was like, I hate the guitar on this song so much. I can't wait till I don't care as much about the guitar on it anymore. And I've listened to it 100 times now, and I've gotten over it, but I hate the guitar on that song. It was so distracting.
That song sounds exactly like that Sheryl Crow like summer song. I forget what it's called.
Soak Up the Sun?
Yeah. For some reason, like I think it might be like the cadence and the vocals or something that it reminds me exactly of that song.
There have been a lot of heavy Sheryl Crow vibe reactions to this.
Yeah.
Like you said it to me, like 5 different people I've spoken to have been like, oh my God, some of these songs are so Sheryl Crow. And I always get defensive when someone's like, oh, this song sounds just like somebody else. But also I'm like, yo, we're talking about Haim here. They're pretty shamelessly derivative.
Right.
Which,
yeah.
Like they were as a badge of honor because like we can't make a Sheryl Crow song. They fucking can.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I love about Haim is that they're kind of like shapeshifters, but they do shape into like people that you know and people that you like.
That's a great way of putting it. 3 a.m. Very flirty.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
flirty in like a I've had a few drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm being like aggressively flirty kind of way.
I know alone, flirty to us because we're like same.
Depressing. Yeah.
Like, oh, you're doing that.
To us, being depressed is being very flirty because we're like, oh, I'm on that vibe.
Father John Misty's albums are so flirty. He's doing that. He does that thing where he likes the same stuff as you.
Dying.
Yeah.
Slowly dying, losing all hope.
Right. Just
Hell
like being really bummed.
Talk dirty to me, baby.
Yeah. I got to pick this up on vinyl. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, I gotta get back on my vinyl game soon. We got more stonks.
Yeah. What stonk you got?
I'll get to it after this because we gotta hit this read.
Cool.
When most people want to lose weight, they think exercise, and whether that's actually the right approach, maybe not, because the results are sometimes the same either way. I say the same because losing weight is all about nutrition. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you'll receive a customized nutrition plan, weekly one-on-one coaching, and the option to receive 80% of your daily foods to help you lose weight your first week and each week after that until you're down to your ideal weight. During your weight loss transformation, you'll be gaining the tools to know what and how to eat so that you can keep that weight off for the long term. As always, Awaken 180 will provide you free support for how long, DJ?
Life.
For life. Yeah, goddamn right. Call the long-term solution for weight loss and the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. That's Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You can find them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
All right, what stonk you got?
This is 4th of July week, so it's important to note that the stonks you would think would be up on fireworks, but stonks are most definitely down on fireworks.
Oh my God. Have we talked about this yet?
No, we haven't, but I want to. And don't get it twisted. Usage of fireworks is up, but that is why the stonks are down, because fireworks should be reserved for special occasions and occasions where you're probably expecting fireworks. That's the only time that I want fireworks in my life.
Right. I mean, haven't we had enough? Especially with, I don't know, like pasta used to be a thing that I do every now and then. And during these strange, uncertain times, I've just been doing pasta constantly. Same with fireworks. That's like an every now and then thing. Have pasta 3 times a year, DJ. Not 5 meals a day for a month.
You can have a little firework as a treat.
Right. Do it as a treat, but it is no treat to be trying to sleep at night
on a fucking Tuesday night at 3 a.m. in a residential neighborhood to just be lighting those things off.
Although, you know what? I do catch myself when I'm like, I'm trying to sleep. Like my body's like, yeah, DJ, this is why you don't sleep at night because some kids are doing fireworks right now. That's why. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, like 11:30 when your bedtime has become 4 a.m.
Oh yeah,
constantly being like, I'm trying to get some sleep over here.
Oh yeah, it's the kids. Yeah, it's the kids' fault, Dave. Well, what about those other 31 years? What was your excuse then?
Yeah, but I mean, there's just no reason for it. I hate it. It's not only like unsettling when you hear a fucking big bang go off in your neighborhood, but like, hey, some of us got pets. Some of those pets fucking hate fireworks.
Yeah.
Some of us have served. I haven't. You haven't. But like, that's a big thing.
That's the biggest one. Like that is inconsiderate as hell. And I think that, again, you get into is it malicious? In most cases, I would say no. It's kids who aren't thinking and maybe don't understand and don't care. But like, I don't know. That's going to really mess with somebody.
Yeah, it's not malicious, but it's not considerate. And if you want to go blow up fireworks, go do it in like the woods somewhere. Don't light it off in a residential neighborhood.
Right. I was pretty pumped when it was pouring the other night. I was like, yo, I legitimately didn't know. I was like, wait, do fireworks still work? Are they like so strong that they'll beat the rain? I was like, we'll see.
I mean, flames work on top of water. Just ask Dane Cook.
That's right. And then you get up and the guy punches a big dude punches you in the face.
Get back in the fiery water.
Cover up that spot with fire. See, like I remember thinking, even when we listened to that, I was like, yo, this doesn't make sense, but it's funny.
Yeah.
If anyone's not been
logistically, it doesn't make sense logistically, but I'm going to laugh.
If anyone's not been listening to What's Cooking, basically we've realized the premise of every Dane Cook joke is, hey, check out this crazy hypothetical. It always
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, we Pete and I would take a drink every time he would say, what was it? What
imagine
if?
This or something?
Oh, yeah.
Or like what if?
What if, imagine, or I've always wanted.
Yeah.
One of his bits is like, I've always wanted a crazy house. And the crowd's like, ah!
Yeah. And then another one was like, doesn't everybody just want a monkey? I was like, no.
No conversations about the monkey, Dane. Move on.
Yeah. Like if he ever did like hey, how about a show of hands for everybody who's wanted a monkey? And he had like a crowd that wasn't totally on his dick for some reason. Everybody'd be like, yeah, I never really thought about it. Not for me.
I have a stonk watch.
Okay.
Just how movies look right now. I don't know. I just saw a trailer for David Ayer's The Tax Collector, and that looked okay. Probably a little too violent and scary for me. But, man, have you seen this trailer for Unhinged?
I have not.
That looks like the stupidest movie in the world.
Who's in Unhinged?
I think it's Russell Crowe.
Ooh. Interesting. Yep, Russell Crowe.
So the trailer is a woman... I don't know, a woman cuts a guy off or something. It's some like basic road rage thing. And the guy's like, excuse me, apologize. And she's like, fuck off, dude. And the rest of the movie is this guy becoming unhinged.
Jesus.
I'm like,
isn't that Michael Douglas movie? Like Falling Down?
There's a movie called that?
Yeah, where you ever seen that movie where he goes into like, he brings a gun into like a fast food restaurant? And he just wants his breakfast, man. He wants his like McDonald's breakfast.
Oh.
And he gets there at like 11:04 or something. They're like, sorry, we close breakfast at 11 a.m. And he goes unhinged.
Oh, stonks on movies. Very down.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't mention whether up or down there.
Yeah, I think I might be out on movies.
Michael Papa John plays a cop in Unhinged. That's a cool name.
You don't watch The Chi, but I'm watching season 3, and it's been very good. They've really reshaped that show because they fired Jason Mitchell. But I was looking up, I don't know, I was just like Googling like reviews of episodes or something. And I didn't realize this, but the show got rid of cops.
Really?
Yeah, like
Completely?
yeah. Well, one of the main characters was a policeman, and they just cut out the cop storyline.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
kind of interesting. I don't know. Like, we'll see because the main storyline is a girl goes missing, and they mention cops, but I don't know. We'll see how it turns out and everything. I think that obviously like police are going to be involved in that storyline, but
I wonder if that's like a conscious decision to kind of separate itself from like comparisons with The Wire or something like that.
maybe. I also think, I don't know, maybe I think it was probably more like a reflection of current times.
Oh, so that was a decision that was made like very recently?
Well, like unfortunately, it could have been at any point over the last few years.
That's true.
Yeah,
But I mean that was a long-standing issue like when the Chi started. So
right.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think that like when I watched the Chi, I watched the first season and it was more about like the people and the community. So maybe it was just a decision to kind of focus on
Right.
what was working best for the show. I don't know.
It still is great. I mean,
Is it a critically acclaimed show?
What's that?
Is it critically acclaimed?
I don't know. That's a good question, but I think that like the Jacob Lattimore who plays Emmett he's in some other stuff. I think that he's a star in the making if he's not a star already. And the kids are great. Parents are great. I really recommend it.
I finally got around to finishing Insecure this week. We haven't talked about Insecure like at all this season.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on. So much going on in that final episode. Like it was exhausting. Season finale was crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like some past season finales have been just kind of leaving Issa with kind of reevaluating her life. And this is certainly one, but I mean, spoilers, I guess. Like she gets back together with Lawrence. Lawrence finds out he got his ex pregnant and she's keeping it. I forget what he says. He's like, I still want to be with you. Like, I'm going to raise this kid and I'm going to be a good father and I'm going to be with you. But man, what a whopper to have dropped on you at the beginning of a relationship for both of them, really.
I mean, it's not necessarily like the beginning of a relationship, but like when you're trying to patch things up and like get it going and you've got some maybe unlikely momentum to have that. I was like, oh man. And it was presented in such like a real and sort of like raw and authentic way. I very much appreciated the way that they presented it, where it was like, nobody was an asshole about it there. And like a lot of the times I feel like it's easy to make somebody into an asshole in that situation and to have it like blow up in everybody's faces. I feel like everybody sort of responded to it in a like sort of authentic and real manner. And that kind of hit me as like, oh man, this is really fucking difficult.
Yeah. What's the character? Is his name Nathan?
The barber.
Yeah, that she was seeing that ghosted her, and then he said like I had some problems.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I gold star for handling of mental health stuff. I think that TV shows are getting better and better at actually doing like let's maybe talk to some people and see what this is actually like versus just being like, this person's a little blue. The way they handled him being bipolar was awesome. I'm going to be sad though. It looks like, would it appear that Andrew was out of the picture?
I don't know if he's going to be out of the picture, but like, I don't know if he's going to be as involved as he was this season.
Andrew, who we still can't tell, like, is he a particularly good dude? I think he's a person. I think that he's
like a
flawed.
level-headed person.
Right. He's flawed. He's probably selfish sometimes. He I don't know, he maybe contradicts himself with how he handles his relationship, but
I miss the other friend. I forget his name.
Oh,
the crazy one.
Lawrence's friend?
Yeah. That guy
sleeps around?
Yeah. That guy brings the heat every time he's on screen, and he just like wasn't involved this season.
Yeah.
He does some crazy
Chad.
shit.
Chad.
Everybody's like starting to like mature in that show and like get their shit together, and Chad's still being Chad.
Yeah, but I like that they still handle that, like, people are, and like Molly's like the best example of this. Like, on paper, you're like, okay, Molly has it figured out. She's got a great job. She's got a great place. Clearly very, very book smart. And like emotionally, she's a disaster, which I think is probably more more common and more realistic with people who like look like they're doing great than maybe we've allowed for over the years. And
Molly just was the fucking worst this season.
Yeah. But I don't know, like, I don't know. She's clearly got some stuff she's got to work out. And I think that she's like just behind on doing that. And I think that that's pretty common as well. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that she's like a relatable character, but like if just in terms of like how sort of like preachy she is.
Oh yeah. Terrible to Issa.
Like, yeah. Terrible to Issa when she doesn't have her own shit figured out clearly and is just like projecting on a lot of people.
When she sent that, she was hanging out, when they were hanging out in a group, man. She texted Issa, "See, I'm trying" with her. I was like, man, if I were Issa,
I'd be like, I am fucking done.
That could be like, I don't know if I've ever done like I am done with this friendship, but I'm like, that could be an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I enjoyed this season though. Like I think that a lot of parts of Insecure have gotten like too ridiculous for my taste, where like they go over the top and like being goofy and shit, especially with Kelly a lot of the times. Where it's like you're clearly just trying to inject this in as like we need Kelly to be goofy for like 5 minutes here. Yeah. So I think like some of that stuff misses the mark, but that show is at its best when it's like tackling serious drama between friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And doing it in like a real like gut punch way. And they're still so good at that.
Yeah. What other shows are there any other I mean, The Chi just came back, but like what shows are coming up? Anything? We're just going to watch bad movies all day.
Yeah, I'm down to watch bad movies and play video games. That's really all I ever am interested in.
All right.
Not a TV guy anymore.
That's you got like a 23-minute Hamilton coming up. So get excited.